But first, we begin with the breaking news. The Supreme Court has ended constitutional protections for abortion that had been in place nearly 50 years. Good afternoon. I'm Tiffany Kenny.
And I'm Mark Kelly. Thank you for joining us for WPBF 25 News at noon. The court voting 6-3 in the case of Dobbs versus Jackson, women's health organization, which involved Mississippi's ban on abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The court is saying it is now left up to the states for these decisions when it comes to abortion. Groups of protesters and supporters of this ruling demonstrating outside the U.S. Supreme Court this afternoon.
As you can see from this video, some have signs, others are chanting through megaphones. Justin Finch is in Washington with a look at the impact of this ruling.
Real-time reaction to the High Court's decision overturning Roe v. Wade, striking down the constitutional right to abortion, leaving that decision for states to decide. Stepped-up security and barricades set up around the court complex where crowds gathered for the opinion. Abortion has been a constitutional right for nearly 5 decades, but with a 6-3 conservative majority on the court, abortion rights supporters have feared it would only be a matter of time before Roe v. Wade was overturned. According to a leaked Supreme Court draft opinion obtained by Politico in May and confirmed as authentic by Chief Justice John Roberts, a majority of justices voted to end federal protections for abortions and let states make their own abortion laws instead. Justice Samuel Alito writing for the majority in the draft, stating that Roe was wrongly decided. Abortion rights supporters immediately expressing alarm.
This morning, the radical Supreme Court is eviscerating Americans' rights and endangering their health and safety.
Thousands took to the streets to protest as soon as the leak happened, some even demonstrating outside the homes of conservative justices. 26 states were poised to quickly move to severely restrict access to abortion or ban it outright. 13 have already passed so-called trigger laws that would ban the procedure once Roe is struck down.
The goal of this is to protect the child, the unborn child.
And now a number of Democrat-led states are expanding abortion rights access, making it easier for women to travel to those states for the procedure. At the Supreme Court, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Now, we have learned President Joe Biden will be speaking in about 30 minutes, 12:30. We'll bring that to you live right here on WPBF 25, and we'll stream it online, too. Well, people on both sides of the aisle feeling very strongly about this issue.
Local organizations and our local lawmakers are responding this afternoon. Taylor Hernandez joining us now with a look at that. Taylor?
Guys, I spent the morning reaching out to local lawmakers for reaction to this landmark reversal. So let's start on the Republican side of the aisle with our area's only conservative lawmaker, Brian Mast. He released a statement reading in part, "I fought on battlefields to protect the innocent and uphold the Constitution. Abortion does neither. Our kids are the most innocent among us at a year, at birth, and before. This decision will protect millions of vulnerable unborn babies, and that is a reason to celebrate." Meanwhile, former Florida governor and current state senator Rick Scott releasing this statement. "I firmly believe that life begins at conception and that every child deserves to be welcomed into this world with open and loving arms. Abortion ends a life. It's abhorrent and has no place in our society." The liberal justices on the High Court issued a rare joint dissent. That's a sentiment shared by all of our local Democratic lawmakers. Congresswoman Lois Franco calling today one of the saddest days in America's history and says this ruling will have widespread impact.
This decision opens the floodgates not only for the states to ban access to abortion, access to legal abortion, but to undermine the rights that give us access to birth control, to marriage equality, to interracial marriage, and more.
South Florida Rep. Ted Deutsch weighing in with this statement: "The right to bodily autonomy is not just a constitutional right, it is a human right. This much is clear. Even as the relentless attacks on America's most personal, most basic rights continue, we will fight to protect women's reproductive rights and safety." I am still waiting to hear back from several of our other lawmakers and hope to speak personally with the sole Republican congressman for our area, Brian Mast. We're also waiting on comment from the governor, who's in Surfside right now for the 1-year anniversary anniversary of the Champlain Towers South condo collapse. Count on continuing team coverage tonight on this at 5. In the studio now, Taylor Hernandez, WPBF 25 News.
Taylor, thank you. And as we said earlier, today's Supreme Court ruling leaves abortion decisions up to the states.
So let's go to Caroline Coles to explain how the ruling affects our state. Caroline?
Well, keep in mind, our state has been making steps already to limit abortions. It was back in April when Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill restricting most abortions after 15 weeks unless the pregnant person's life is in fact endangered. This new law replacing a previous one that allowed abortions until 24 weeks of pregnancy. Now, in this new law, there will be no exceptions for rape, incest, or human trafficking. This is a law that takes effect July 1st, and according to the CDC, Florida reported more than 71,000 abortions back in 2019, the third highest rate in the country. Most were done prior to 15 weeks of pregnancy, and today's ruling will put more of an emphasis on local and state elections now that it is up to states to decide on abortion matters. Tiffany.
Caroline, thank you. And it was January 1973 when the Supreme Court ruled 7-2 and affirmed a woman's right to have an abortion under the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. In June of 2003, there was a motion with the federal court to have the case overturned. It asked the court to consider new evidence that abortion hurts women. And last month, in a stunning breach of Supreme Court confidentiality and secrecy, Politico obtained what it said was a draft of a majority opinion written by Justice Alito that would overturn Roe v. Wade. The court confirmed the authenticity of that document, but stressed it was not the final decision. And that brings us to today, when the court issued its opinion overturning Roe v. Wade.